Hello students, today we would like to introduce a new poem, A Prayer in Spring. You know the seasons are seasons all over the world, that is in autumn, spring, winter, etc. So now we focus on the season spring. That means when the poet is prayer in the time of spring, during the season of spring, a prayer comes out. For what purpose the prayer comes out? What are the circumstances the prayer comes out? For what issue the prayer is concerned? We want to discuss about this matter. Before we want to know about Robert Frost. Yes, very interesting poet. So Robert Frost is us. The profile is here. See the profile. Robert Frost, 1874 and died in 1963. An American poet, he is much admired for his realistic verse. Okay, he was an American poet. All right. Then what is his peculiarity? That means he is admired. That means the people are worshipping him for his what the particularity. That means realistic verse. Realistic verse means realistic in line. The poem's lines are very realistic and easily understood. That depicts the rural life of New England. That's it. Depicts, that means describe the rural life of England. Rural England. Rural means the village. Okay. Some of his most notable works are The Road Not Taken. Yes, maybe or may not. We had may already known these works. The Road Not Taken. Ninth standard CBSE syllabus is mostly comes out. Stooping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. It's another fantastic works, and A Boy's Will, and last After Apple Picking. These are the most important work. First one, road not taken, stooping by the woods on a snowy evening, then the boy's will, and after apple picking. These are the most important works of our Robert Frost, American poet. All right. So he won Pulitzer Award prizes 4 times and was nominated for Nobel Prize for in literature in 31 times. Oh my God. 31 times he is prescribed to a Nobel Prize or nominated, but he didn't get it. But Pulitzer Awards he got is that. So that's why he's a very good uh, poet. Robert Frost, one of the admired poet, and he is far front in the English literature or American literature, right? All right, that's about Robert Frost. And this is a small poem, is it? Very small poem, is it? Yeah, right, that one. So other thing is that true happiness is to enjoy the present without being too anxious about the futures. Yes, most of our life is we are more worried about our thinking. We are thinking about the future. Is it? So that is here says about that. Means that's why we didn't get the proper happiness. We are always anxious, tension, and that will lead to unhappy. So true happiness is not impossible in some extent. That is prevent some of the things. Here is we have to our happiness is prevent by the anxious about future. Okay, when it comes to seeking happiness in the present, yeah, it is better to we want to take measure in order to happy in the present. Can nature help us? Yes, yes. Question poets indicate that is the poet indicate that question is that is nature help us for solving all the problems of our or soothing our wounds, or we can get a relief from nature. So such kinds of question asked by poet. Right. Here is a poem. Okay. Where the poet urges the readers to experience joy and pleasure. Okay. What is the three words there? Experience, joy. Joy means happy, and pleasure. That is also happy. It is connected. That is the natural springtime delight offer. Yes, exactly. The springtime is very fantastic time. Very what is that called as very light in time. We are getting more joy and happiness during the time of spring, after the winter or this. Okay, okay. Delight. The springtime's delight. Delight means happy. Offer dash. Now read this. Enjoy the poem. Here is also says about the importance of nature. So before that, we want to know that there is a cult, there is a cult known as Romanticism. Do you know Romanticism? Okay, then in Europe there exists a system that is called Romanticism. Romanticism is one of the system that the people or the poets or the group give more preference about humanity plus nature. And humanity means there's feelings, there's happiness, there's sad, there's frustration, there's disappointments. Everything else to they gave concerns about that one. Relatives and related to nature, everything that people are we can call as people who support romanticism. Robert Frost also one of the product of romanticism, right? Romanticism is a product that existed in ancient Europe, all right? And at the same time, it is against the industrialization. That means Romanists, most of them dislike the industrialization. Once the cult exists, industrialization. Against that one, there's a new cult uh, grouped by under the leadership of this Robert Frost. He is also one of the member of Romanticism. What is Romanticism? It's a cult existed in Europe before for importance for human beings and nature. All right, so he is belong to Romanticism. Okay, that's about the poet and background of the poem. This poem also gave more important for the relationship between nature and humanity. Corrected? Okay. This poem is more important. That is a message. That means the content of the poem is the relationship between human being and at the same time human race and at the same time the nature. How the nature and this human beings are related. So there is so much personification used by the poet in this poem, right? So we want to discuss that one. Okay, let us start. So a poem, a prayer in the spring. When is prayer? When is pray? That means during the time of spring season. Okay. So what is the prayer? We want to know that. Who is praying now? We want to know that. The who is praying means here the poet itself is praying for what? That means in order to make the strong relationship between human being and nature. Okay. So poet is very sad because human beings are not at all happy in every time. Always worry about their anxious, worry about their futures. But nature is always be happy according to poet. So that is a inside meaning of this poem. Inner meaning of the poem here is that okay. We want to start the first lines, 4 lines, is we can call a stanza, right? That we call it quartet. First stanza we can call it quartet. Okay. Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today, and give us not to think so far away, as uncertain harvests keep us here, all simply in the springing of the year. Our first four stanza here is that, oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today. Yes, that means pray to God. First, the poet here, poet is a narrator. Poet is the first person, is speaker. Who is the speaker in this poem? Poet. Poet said that what is that? Give pleasure to for flowers. That is the first to pray. Make happy for flowers. Okay, pleasure means happy, and give us not to think so far away, and give us not to think so far away. Pray to that means God don't want to think more. Us means here human being don't want to think more and make worry, make anxious, uh, make disappointments. We also want to become. We means here human beings also want to become happy. Please, that is a prayer. Now praying to God. Okay, first of all, the pray that means the poet pray for the nature. Second, for pray for the human being, human race. Okay, as uncertain harvests keep us here, all simply in the springing of the year. That means uncertain harvest means what is that? That means we cannot say about the future. Uncertain harvest means here, harvest means that is a koyuga. With I mean Nellu koyuga, that is a harvest season. Okay, as the uncertain harvest means here, so we don't know whether this harvest is come flourished or not, right? We want to know that whether it's flourished or not. Okay, let's see that one. What is the last chapter we have to take in here? We want to know that. Right, see that. Okay, all right. That's the last chapter. We already know that. What is that? Happiness mission. There is also we says about the different characters as character sketch and everything. So here we want to say about the relationship between nature at the same time human being. Okay, that's a speciality of romanticism. Robert Frost belongs to that category. That's why he gave more importance for relation between human with nature. All right. So that's about we are talking about. Right? Oh, then we want to get the question: who pray to whom? That means the poet to pray to God for make happy not by human being but also nature also. That is the situation here explained, is it? Is it? Do you understand that? Alright, fine. Alright, here is the we have to discuss more about the importance of nature. I think that are you a natural lover? Yes, definitely. You are also the natural lover. Very good. Without nature, we can't live. That means we should love nature. That's the at present society is the most important thing is to we want to preserve nature. That means we want to destroy the nature. Nature is also one of our part, is it? In order to live, we want the nature. That means in order to live properly, especially for new generation. I mean, next generation, the people should live with harmony and happy. We must preserve what nature. So here is a relation shows by nature and human being by our poet Robert Frost. All right. So he pray for nature at the same time pray for human beings. What is that? To maintain, that means give happy for us, right? So that is the line says about keep us here or simply in the springing of the years. That means please keep all of them, God, please keep all of them safely and make them happy. That is the meaning here mentioned, not harvest and like that one. But anyway, this Robert Frost has gave more preference was rural life of the people. That means rural means village life of the people. Here is also the village life is also clearly mentioned about this poem is that. All right, then we want to know about the next line. Oh, give us pleasure in the orchard white. Yes, should I have to give pleasure? That we give happy in the orchard white. Orchard white means a garden. Yes, like nothing else by day, like a ghost by night. Yeah. That means it's a night is comes to be as in the way of a ghost. So here he says that please remove all these bad things and don't afraid. Please let me give happiness and pleasure and is safe to us. Okay, and make us happy in the happy bees. Yes, and want to happy to bees also. Just like a bees are very happy, same like that. Human beings wants happiness. Okay, right. The swarm dilating around the perfect trees. The swarm means, swarms means a group dilating around the perfect trees. That means trees are there staying, they are staying in the, bees are staying in the trees hall or trees side, along trees sides, okay, dilating around the perfect trees. That means they also want to become perfectly stay in the trees, whose bees. Now the poet says to pray to so many things for flowers, for human beings, and at the same time, very good to in order to get for a village. They want a good harvest. നല്ല വിളകൾ കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടി പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കണം എന്ന് പറയുന്നു. Yes, for good harvest, and at the same time good gardens. There's a white flowers also comes out, and remove all bad things, just like a ghost. Remove the ghost. The just like it comes in the way of a night. Okay, we want a day, that means very happy. Don't want to be dark. That is called as night here, and make us happy to every word. And even in bees also want became happy. And those who are staying, that means the bees are staying in a long thick tree, and they also comes in the happy. So please give happy for everyone. We praise to God. That means during the spring season that is possible for the happiness according to poet. Sorry. And then, so these are the four lines. We have 8 stanzas. There mean 4 stanza we are completed here. Who prayed to God? The poet prayed to God. For what? For what? For happiness. In order to get happiness, in order to get satisfaction, in order to get what? Delight or joy. So not only you pray for human beings, but also pray for the nature also, right? Is it? So we can understand that the poet indicate the importance of nature and a relationship between human being and the nature, right? Okay, fine. And also here is that, and make us happy in the dirty bird that suddenly above the bees is heard. Dirty bird is, a singing bird is there, and make them also happy, singing bird, that suddenly above the bees is heard. That means that they may be also stay in the above the trees of the bees. The bees also stayed in the tree, and this there's a bird also staying in the particular tree. Okay, the method that trusteth in with needles built. This also the birds has to say that method and that trusteth. That's birds and a small animal with a needles bill and of blossoms in midair stand still. Okay, that's also that means connected to the natural object. Want to become happy in that sense also, right? Okay, the next one. For this is love, and nothing else is love. This is exact love. What is exact love? That means we should pray for not only for us but only for others. Did you pray like that way? You should pray for yourself at the same time for others. Others also want to become happy, and when you are pray, you should have to add that others also. I mean, especially poor also, poor people also, poor objects. Not only this mankind, but also we should pray for what natural objects also. Okay, here is the line says about he gave more preference about the importance of nature. Okay, for this love is nothing else is love. That is exact love. That means praying for nature, praying for others, to which it is reserved for God above. I mean, it is depends upon the God. That means the praying for the love that is given by God to us. Actually, the God is reserved the means handle the love. Who give the love and kind blessing and everything? It is hand or reserved by. It is handled by or reserved by. It is taken by God, and God give us happiness and pleasures and what is love and everything, because God is love. Is it? Yes. To which is reserved for God as above. Above means you know that, okay, the eternity, right? The sanctify of what for end he will, but which is only needs that we fulfill. Yes. What is the need for us? That's God know that, then God will give if you pray. So pray, we should pray very nicely, then God will give the gift for us. So if you pray, you should not pray with you only, you should pray for others. Okay, the others also we should pray, then only that is a perfect love. The love, God is love, the God gives all blessings and love and happiness and joy for not only you and also give to others. But you should pray for not only us, I mean himself, but you should pray others also. So that is a very important thing here. So here pray for others means that means pray for nature also. Pray for the purity of the nature. Pray for the benefit of the nature also. Then only we can live very comfortably. Here it says about the very good relationship between human being and nature. We can't live without nature. So it is an inseparable part of in our life. Nature is inseparable part of in our life. So gave more important for the importance of nature here. That's that's the things as here mentions about. So here is too much questions as here. See that? What is that? Okay, you must be know that what is important questions and answer is that. Let us see that. So I think you are mostly pray for many times is it for God, is it? So whenever you pray, you should have to pray for himself and at the same for others, especially those who are suffering people, especially those who are suffering people. Here, poet says that you should have to pray at the same time. You should to pray for not only human beings but also for nature also. So anyway, do you pray with? Are you ready to pray for nature? Yes, we should pray for the nature. Then only we get the happiness and enjoyment or content. This is reserved by God. You see, God will give you everything if you have to help others. Here is not only help, you should pray for nature. There is a poet is the speaker here. The poet to pray for the nature, poet to pray for the human being also. Here we can understand the relationship between human being and nature's relationships. We know that. All right, so that's about this. Then we want to know about some of the questions that he has asked. This: who does the poet address in this first line? The poet addressed in the first line the nature, is it? Yeah. Reason no, he addressed to God for nature. He addressed to God. Okay. Who means here? Who does the poet address? That means for God. Okay. Who are referred to as us means human being. Okay. What does the poet use today instead of today? That means today here it says about instead of today means that means from today itself you want to pray for that. Okay. Where is a poet? That means the importance of today is that present. Today means here present. Where is the poet and what is happening around him? The poet is the speaker, I told it, what is happening around him. He know that. He can understand the importance of the nature that is around him. There is nature. Okay. Okay, what is the first pleasurable sight? That means the first pleasurable sight we can see that everyone should happy. Okay. Which habit of human beings stand as obstacle for enjoying the pleasures in natures? That means people talk of people. I mean, human being always anxious about the future. That's why that is obstacle for enjoyments. You see. Okay, then identify the enjoyable site mentioned in the second stanza. See the second stanza. Enjoyable site is here. The pressure in the orchard white. Okay, and make up happy. Bees are there. So that's the enjoyment sites. Various sites there, but the important site is that one. Okay, then that is the second one. Another question is that the poet says that bees are happy. How does the poet justify his claim? Because bees are in the very stable in the trees. That this happy in the bees have the swarm dilating around the perfect trees. That is why. Okay. Okay. Then what is the question? This comes to base. Explain the idea in the end of the blossom in mind and the air stands still. That means even though there is too much problems comes out, there is still the flowers blossoms in the air. So that means happiness. Poet mentioned love of the first stanza. It's the human love or divine love. The poet says about the divine love, not human love. The love is served by God. So divine love is mentioned here. According to Robert Frost, what is the man's duty to while living in this world? We should pray for others also, right? Okay. See that, yes, as the poems also prayer is spring is depicts the beauty of natures in this season. Okay, filling this bubble with the shades of nature that attracted the poet in the springtime. Okay, springtime, we know that's a very important time, is it? Very important time. We want to know that everything is blossomed very nicely during the time of springtime. It's a very fantastic sight we can see during the springtime is here. So spring is one of the season. It's very glorified. The poet concerned about the most of the poets has admired the spring season because very good climates during the spring season. Uh, Everything is blossomed and every plants has comes out and every leaves and branches are delighted with this slow wind, snowy wind. There is also light snow. That's why this climate is also delighted and attracted. Is that so? That's the things has to mention here, right? So, spring season you must know, and prayer also you must know. So, speaker must know. The poet is now the speakers he has mentioned, and here is spring season peculiarities here mentioned is that blossom, that's etc. Is we can feel it. I told us HSS live that site you want to take and to fill in this textbook, and you should write in the notebook also. Okay, that's the things as we have mentioned is that. Now write a paragraph on the poetic treatment of nature in this poem's Prayer of Springs. Activities is the expression spring of the years refers to the beginning of the season. Okay, the planting and the tending a season, new birth. Yes, that means planting season. Planting means yes, tree planting. Small trees are we want to plant. Seeds are now put it in the earth. Robert Frost tells us that we would live in the moment and learn not to focus on the harvest. Yes, we should not focus on the harvest. We would live, and the harvest will be given by the God, whether it's good harvest or bad harvest. That is reserved by the God. Okay. What message does the poet convey? The first answer, express your views. Yes, it's all depends upon the God. If you pray, then God will give you the results. Okay. The bees play in the inevitable role in the nature. Yes. What function do they perform? How does the poet describe it? We can the swam, that line he says about that. The first answer, Robert Frost tell us that we should learn to get rid of our anxious about future and enjoy the living the moment of gifted to us. How does the poet reinforce this message in the stanza explain? The poet already said that if you have prayed, we should get the result, but we should pray for nature too. Okay, because nature, that means God has the reserved all the things, whether they give happiness or not, right? So that's, and here is too much metaphor and simile and everything is here mentioned. There were so many figure personification here. Personification, human beings are personified as nature. That is a personification. We will very important that one. Human beings are the personified nature. Human beings are personified nature. Then see that here is a here that is a rhyming words are here. See, and we can see the flowers that is called images. We can see what is it visual images is the flowers. Okay, all right, that is a very thing. Okay, white night rhyming, the ab is the rhyming word is the okay, white night, bees, trees as here, bill still. Okay, is the so much rhyming words also, and also images also we can see here. That's also we can get it. Okay, that's a fine. And this here is alliteration, simile, and metaphor is there. See that. If you like is comes, so definitely is a simile. You must be remember about that one. Personification is also I told here personified. Human being as nature is personified is there. Okay. That's about this stanzas. Prayer in spring is came to the end. We should have to reach the next class. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.